Folks, as this case moves forward, yes, unbelievably, the politics in this is quite evident. From the chat, contrary Marge, he should roll with the insanity defense. Jury will go with that. Contrary Marge, I think Karen Friedman Agnifilo, who is his attorney, she's in this. She's the female to the left in this court rendition, an artist rendition of his court appearance the other day. Here she is in a thumbnail on the screen. She's an excellent attorney, and she even mentioned prior to being assigned this case, prior to being hired by his family, that she might have to go with the insanity defense. But usually the insanity defense, you need to be able to say there is some kind of mental disease or defect. And in his case, he planned, he charted, he reconned, he followed, he stalked, he obtained the necessary items to facilitate this murder. So I find it hard to believe that an insanity defense would fool anyone, or frankly would even be allowed by a judge. This is from WHAS.
Now to the case against Luigi Mangione. The accused CEO killer is facing both federal and state prosecution now. ABC's Andrea Fugii has the latest.
Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, is waking up in a New York City prison. After waiving extradition from Pennsylvania, Mangione was escorted by motorcade to an NYPD plane, which flew him to Long Island, where he boarded a helicopter for Manhattan. The 26-year-old was met by the mayor and police commissioner, then escorted by dozens of FBI agents and NYPD officers.
You see all the security around him? I mean, I don't know if President-elect Trump has that amount of security around him. I'm not being facetious. So he's got to be in a state of shock. And he's meeting all these people now for the first time. There's strangers all around, and he's in a very strange environment.
Once in court, Mangione kept his head down as the federal charges, which could carry the death penalty, were read.
We're going to respectfully decline to make any comment at this time, but Mr. Mangione appreciates everyone's support.
Prosecutors quoted entries in a notebook allegedly recovered from Mangione. One from August reads, "The details are finally coming together. The target is insurance because it checks every box." In October, 1.5 months. This investor conference is a true windfall. The complaint says the notebook describes an intent to whack the CEO of one of the insurance companies at its investor conference. Prosecutors say hundreds of hours of video suggest the shooter undertook extensive efforts to identify the victim, place the victim under surveillance, and track the victim's whereabouts. Despite the heinous crime alleged, Mangione finding supporters outside court critical of the health insurance industry.
She has a chronic condition that's never going to go away.
And because of how long it took, my back is permanently damaged. I have to get yearly surgeries to burn the nerves in my back.
Universal health care now or free Luigi.
Andrea Fugii, ABC News.
So you could see there are a lot of people out there that are his supporters that believe that he almost had, well, I'm not saying anyone, people are backing him like what he did was a good thing. I find that, again, disturbing, but D.L. Briggs from the chat. Sometimes people have a few plans to choose from when deciding on which insurance, but cost usually makes the decision for many, unfortunately. Hard Style 818 from the chat. I love the people here supporting corporate greed, literally, and saying no one's supporting corporate greed. No one is. But what we are against is murdering someone because of corporate greed. That's not okay. But we're not supporting corporate greed. Julia Morgan, the guy wasn't stupid, and he's wearing the same clothes, a mask, carrying a ghost gun with a manifesto. Really? What are you implying, Julia? Are you implying that someone planted the evidence on him? That would actually be impossible to do. Almost impossible to do, the evidence planted on him. But if that's what you're implying, you don't have an ally here. Kate from the chat. United Healthcare just said I have different insurance and has reversed all of my claims since February. I am now on payment plans with all of my providers because since they are over 90. You didn't finish your thought. Judy Moraes, 12345. Are there comparisons between him and Kohlberg in terms of being so educated and thinking they will not get caught? Judy Moraes, people online have made a comparison. How did someone this smart get caught? How, he planned it so well. He tracked, he stalked. He used an online presence and online searches to find out where he was going, where he would be, and then physically reconned him, physically followed him. So all of those things were in his notebook, his planning notebook, because not only did they recover a manifesto, but they recovered a notebook that he used to plan out. And, one of the things that he also talked about was how he acted alone. I find that difficult to believe, that he had no help. I really do. I find it very difficult to believe. And to him, what does it mean acting alone? That no one physically helped him murder Brian Thompson? Where did he get the gun from? Who supplied the gun to him? In my mind, that's an accomplice. The person who supplied the ghost gun to him. The person who supplied the suppressor. That to me is being not acting alone.